Yeah, Shelly's here. She's here, you guys. We've seen her a couple times. I have a complaint first. Actually, 3 complaints. I wrote them down, okay? First of all, the Boiler Room boys. They're all here, you guys. Every one of them are here. Oh, what a lovely looking group of people. And you have beautiful hair, and you guys have been doing a good job. Todd is happy. Everything's lovely. I'm so excited. Thank you, Boiler Room boys, for making my life miserable. All right, first, I was told I have to read you guys something. The FreightWaves TV stage is brought to you by Transcard and MasterCard, bringing together FreightX. And if you all are not here, I'm so sad for you, because this has been a lovely event. There's a huge crowd. Everybody's here. We're all having fun. I'm gonna go get drunk after this. We all know that's gonna happen. And listen, Boiler Room boys, which camera am I supposed to be looking at now? Still that one? All right, fine. We're gonna keep looking at this one. So here's the other thing. Do you see that I have 2 beers? 1, 2. He has no beers.
I have water.
He has water.
Yeah, I got water.
And I was told, now we're at this camera. Do you see how the Boiler Room boys like to fuck with me? Is because we're this camera, then we're this camera, and now we're this camera. And that's because, James, you don't drink beer.
I don't drink beer.
And you're okay on a daily basis.
I'm
what do you
good.
do when you get stressed?
What's that?
What do you do when you get stressed?
Well, I'm really good at hitting things, like golf bag. No, not people.
Because I was like, the Mormons don't drink, but they hit people?
No, we're not violent. Come on, Cassandra.
Okay. So that's what you do, golf balls.
I like to hit golf balls.
All right, what else do you do? Punching bags?
You know what? We just bought a cattle ranch not long ago, and I go out and ride horses and do stuff with cows, which is kind of cool.
Do you watch Yellowstone?
No, I don't watch Yellowstone.
Because that's my dream. Hannah, how many times? Hannah from Amazon is here, you guys. She's always here. Hannah, how many times did I tell you I want to own a cattle ranch and I want to ride horses and be like Beth on Yellowstone, which you would not like Beth, James, at all.
I know who Beth is.
Okay, I'm just saying. All right, James from USA Truck, you have been on my show before.
I have.
And you were my favorite guest for a long time, weren't you?
Well, I thought so, but then I heard somebody offset here was also your favorite guest, so I'm not really sure. But
you're here at FreightWaves. Where did Mike Kukela go? Hi, Mike. I love you. Shelly's here, you guys, and you look fabulous, Shelly. She's funky.
She's
fabulous.
Awesome. I love
okay,
Shelly.
So you were on my show. We had a great conversation. You were trending for so long on social media, and I kept texting you and saying, oh my God, James, look how good your show is doing. And you're like, okay. I don't really care. I'm trying to solve world problems. So, all right, tell me first, what's new at USA Truck since last time we spoke, which is about a year ago, right?
Yeah, probably a little over a year ago. So, you know, obviously we've been in this crazy freight market that everybody knows about, but we've taken the opportunity at USA Truck to kind of, you know, transform our business during that. And I know this isn't like a Wall Street show, but when we talk to the Wall Street guys, we really say that we've taken this opportunity to re-architect and reconstruct our business. So at USA Truck, it looks a lot more asset light and non-asset than it ever has before. So I think when we last met, probably high 40% of our business was asset light, and now it's 65% as of our last earnings release.
Okay, and what else have you been redoing? I thought I saw you, keynote speaker, you did some fancy virtual FreightWaves conference. What'd you guys talk about there?
Well, we talked a lot about culture, and it's kind of interesting. You know, my background, I'm a corporate finance guy by training, so you know, my whole career path has been in corporate and operational finance, and I say that to set up this, which is, you know, a lot of times finance people aren't very constructive when it comes to the human side of the business. And
no way.
I know, it's shocking, right?
You turned off my mic? You turned off my mic. Boiler boy room. Ah. Okay, go ahead.
But
sorry.
we realized to transform this business, we needed to transform the culture. And so what we talked about on that show was just this absolute cultural transformation. So for example, it's just one metric of many, but when I first arrived, we had over 140% driver turnover at USA Truck, and now it's well below 80%. And so,
oh, wow.
you know, and it's all about the people. It's 100% about the people. So we talked a lot about that in that last show that we did.
What else did you change about your culture?
Well, what else? What didn't we change about our culture? I mean, the main thing is, when I first walked into the business, we had a vision and values like every company. But when I started asking people, where did this come from? It came from the CEO. And I always tell people, it was like the 10 Commandments from God to Moses, right? Like, the people didn't play a part in the formation of the culture. And so the very first thing we did is we set out to kind of evaluate what our people valued. And once we figured that out, that became kind of the iconic touchstone for what mattered at USA Truck. And everything we do now ties back to those core values.
I love it. What are the values?
Oh my gosh, I know you were going to ask me. They're trust, teamwork, accountability. Those are the three big ones, and safety. So
Safety. Yep. Trust, teamwork, accountability, safety.
integrity, and I'm missing one.
Integrity.
So I should know this.
Which I'm guessing is diversity and inclusion.
It is not diversity inclusion, but I'd love to talk about that if you'll let me.
All right, go for it.
You must know that I have a passion for the topic.
No, I actually didn't.
You don't?
No. I'm
Okay.
just picking on you because
So let me talk about
you're sitting
this.
here, you poor soul.
Middle-aged white guy. We're going to talk about diversity and inclusion. It's perfect. I actually have a very personal story about this. So I won't tell the whole story in the interest of the time, and I'm sure there's a lot we want to touch on the show, but my oldest son is married to an African-American woman. I have two granddaughters who are
I didn't know that.
half African-American. My youngest daughter we adopted when she was...
It's okay if you say black. I want you to know that.
I always say black, but I don't want to,
All right,
be
keep
on the
going.
outside. So my youngest daughter is Polynesian. We adopted her when she was 7 weeks old, and we live here in Arkansas, and we love Arkansas. We're never leaving. But when she went to get her driver's license, this beautiful, vibrant, just the apple of my eye, Islander girl, there's not an option on your driver's license in Arkansas for Pacific Islander. Her driver's license says that she's black. Now, there's no problem with being black, but she's not black. And so I just was really heightened in my awareness about this. And this goes all the way back to my university days, and I'll spare you that. But as we mentioned before the show, I went to BYU, and maybe 10 years ago, BYU's business school asked me if I would lead the Women in Business initiative at BYU.
Okay, hold on. I have something to say.
Let's hear it.
Whenever there's a diversity and inclusion incentive or initiative or whatever, why do they always pick the white guy to lead it? I have to tell you that.
Totally
Who's leading
agree.
your diversity and inclusion
I totally
thing?
agree. So I show up to that first meeting at BYU.
You're like,
and
I
I'm
know
like,
what it's like to be a lady.
like, one of us does not look like the other. Like, what am I doing here? But it was really eye-opening to understand the cultural biases that were in that culture at BYU and in our faith that really set back women in business at BYU. And we're very proud of what we've done there. We took the business school enrollment was 19% women, and it's now 41%. It's not to the national average yet, but it's getting better. So stitch all those personal experiences together, and George Floyd happens. And I go to our industry that we're all a part of, and Shelly, she disappeared. She's right here.
She
Shelly
never
was in
disappears.
this or actually Craig was in the meeting with me, and I go, what are we doing? And nobody said a word. Now, a lot of companies like Shelly's, like ours, like Walmart here locally, are doing incredible things in diversity and inclusion. But as an industry, we did not have a unified approach to this. And so, to your very good question, in the ATA, they said, James, you're asking all the hard questions, you're in charge. So for the last 2 years, I've been leading the ATA's Diversity and Inclusion, Equity and Inclusion Council, and we're really proud of some of the efforts that we've made there.
You know you did this to me last time we were on the show.
What, I shocked you?
Shocked the shit out of me. And like, I mean, this is very unprofessional, but I think I love you more than the last time I had you on the show.
Well, thank you.
You are an onion. Like, I put you in that box because you put the beer on this side of the platform.
She didn't like that I gave the beer up, folks.
Yeah, wait, okay.
She didn't like
Do you guys,
that.
where'd the boiler room boys go? Why'd they all leave? Who's running anything anymore? Do you guys remember when we first got here on Sunday and we were setting up? And we went to go get beer. And they told us no beer.
Not on Sunday, not in Arkansas.
And what did Christian say? What did beer ever do to you, Arkansas? And we were traumatized. So then I put you in that bucket, but now you're surprising us.
Well,
and I love that.
I
So-
hope that's good.
All right, so now I'm going to be a real asshole for a hot minute.
Okay, let's hear it.
There are you on your website.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're twice. Why are you twice on the website?
I don't know. I don't manage the
I mean, you're
website.
very handsome. I put you twice here, too. But when I go through your leadership team, and we got Tim, we got Zachary, we got Kim, we got a female. Who else you got? You got anybody of color?
We have our chief people officer is Shauna
here you
Jameson.
go.
Do you see
All
her on
right.
there?
All right, got
so
you.
Shauna ran the HR operations for all of Walmart's private fleet. She's an absolute rock star, and she joined our team about 90 days ago. So next week will be her 90th day in the business, and we're really proud of her and what she brings to the business. But there's no doubt about it. We're too white, we're too male. And so we have specific goals.
I love him.
We have specific goals on our board and also in our executive team to change that.
Okay, you blew my mind.
Okay.
So we're gonna move on to another topic that I thought, no, he's not gonna survive this. He's gonna walk off the stage. She's done. I'm gonna have to bring Mike up, and I'm gonna be like, hey, Mike's out Green Bay. Oh wait, your executive team's all white except for your general counsel. Who else? Shalene, that's right too. Okay, all right, fine. I won't give you shit. Shelly, you're good too. Amazon, you're good. You guys have 13 values. 13. Wow. Okay, here's your next question. Because we got 15 minutes left. I don't think he got enough water. You sure you don't want this beer?
I'm good. Thank you, though.
Here we go. I have questions for you.
Okay.
I'm in Arkansas.
Okay.
And I'm from New York. What is the deal with the pig, the hog, or whatever is everywhere? And Shelly's already giving me crap about it.
Do you really want to do this?
What do you think? Do it?
I don't really know.
It?
I'm a transplant. My grandmother's from Arkansas. So I'm going to put down the mic, and y'all got to help me out with this, all right? Shelly?
Let's do it.
I know you're a native, so all right. Ready? Here we go. Pig suey. Pig suey. One more.
3 times.
Pig suey. Razorback.
Oh my God, I love it. That's why we.
So I have to tell you, my grandmother was born in Prescott, Arkansas, which is a tiny little town. I guess you'd say it's east of Mena or southwest of Little Rock. And she had a little foam Razorback hat in her beauty station down in San Antonio, Texas, from the time I can remember. And the first time I went to a Razorback game, I got pretty emotional because she never would have had the resources to go to a game. And it's a really, really cool community. And I'll probably get in trouble for saying this. When I first moved here, I was like, that is the dumbest, least intimidating battle cry of any university in America. I don't want to fight after I hear that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard
I want to
it.
go tackle somebody. But I'll tell you, we were at the Garth Brooks concert a couple weeks ago, and the whole stadium did it. Bobby Bones was there. You were probably there. It was awesome. And it's incredibly unifying. These people, I'll make myself part of that group. We love it. It's fun to know that in this world of diverse challenges, we all have a lot in common. And the WPS, do you know what that means?
No.
Woo Pig Suey. WPS.
I
Calling
thought it
in the
was
hogs.
Wisconsin Public.
What? What did you think it was?
WPS, when I lived in Green Bay, that was Wisconsin.
I don't know if that's
Keep going, keep
appropriate,
going.
but it is your show. So anyway, that's what's up with Calling in the Hogs. Thank you for those that participated.
Do you know why he doesn't drink beer? Because he doesn't need it.
I would be a mess
He's
if I
like
drank.
a character and an onion and everything all wrapped up. You don't need beer. Okay. Justin Hall, did you sing the pig song too? No. Okay, I was just curious. No. I know you love sports, Justin, and I see you. Congratulations on your new company. All right, here we go. Your next fear list.
Okay, let's see.
I Googled, sorry, Shelly, things to do in Bentonville. I was trying to get excited, okay? It can't just be all about Shelly and JB Hunt. It can't, you guys. So then I Googled, I'm like, all right, there's gotta be some good stuff to do. And I know that my daddy Bradford, he loves this place because of trails. I guess there's a lot of really good trails.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, he was very excited.
Did you bring a bike?
But do I look like
You
I
can
ride
rent a bike.
I don't
So
ride
there's
a
a
bike.
great place in Bentonville called Slaughter Pen. Doesn't that sound great?
That sounds terrifying.
It's awesome. So one of the really cool, so I'm from Seattle, if you don't know that, and when I first moved here, all my Seattle friends were like, I had people apologizing to me, and finally I was like, look, if you've never been to Arkansas, don't say that. It's a really cool place. And when you go up to Slaughter Pen, you can literally be riding in the town square and then drop in a trail on your bike. In fact, Ryan, you ride, right? Ryan Bush runs our logistics business.
Hi, Brian.
He loves the mountain bike. There's just a ton of great mountain biking here. In fact, my buddies and I, we go to Whistler every year to ride bikes and ski. And my best friend in the world, a guy named Steve Keller, he called me the other day. He's like, dude, we're bringing our bikes. We're going to ride in Arkansas. People come from all over the world to ride here.
Okay, what is so different, because there's a lot of people here from Tennessee. What is so different between Tennessee and you're giving me a look. Oh, crap.
No,
That's a
go
bad
ahead.
question.
This is good.
That was judgy.
No, it's good. I don't know what you're going to
I'm
say.
a New Yorker, right? When I go to Tennessee, I'm like, whoa, this is really nature-y, hills.
Sure.
What's the big difference?
What's the big difference?
Look at him smile. I'm being
What's
made
that?
fun of.
Oh, Ryan's giving me hints. He's saying the culture. the culture.
Oh, no.
So
Ryan, did you hear that? My other Ryan? Oh.
So my dad was in the Navy, so we moved quite a bit. But Seattle, we've always said is home. But I went to high school in Tennessee. So I went to high school in the Memphis area, which is the ugly side of Tennessee, I might say. Sorry. But I loved living there. Okay, all right, cool. I don't know. I don't really know what the difference is. The guys are saying that it's culture. I will tell you, the thing about Arkansas that's different than any place I've ever lived, I've never lived in New York, but I've lived in Philadelphia, so I know that's a war.
Close.
But when somebody here asks you how you're doing, they actually want to talk to you. Like, they're going to have a conversation with you, and that doesn't happen, at least not the part of I lived in Memphis, so, like, you want to get out of your conversations in Memphis as quickly as possible. So I won't speak for East Tennessee.
Yeah,
but
in New York, we don't even make eye contact. We're like, even if we do, I'm like, oh, are you going to take something from me? Is that why you? Yeah, that's exactly. Beth Howard. No, Boiler Room Boys, she is not taking my spot. I know you love Beth Howard, but she's not taking my spot. I'm staying right here. All right, next question. Beth Howard. Oh my God. All right, here's the next question for you. So, by the way, for anybody who's curious on TripAdvisors, I have to go back to this. The top things to see besides Shelley Simpson in Bentonville is Walmart Museum, which I thought was all of America, but Walmart Museum, and then the Town Square, which I have not seen yet. And has anybody seen the Town Square?
everybody's seen it.
You're killing me. You are the best guest. I actually think you should be my co-host now. Justin, you're out. I know you're always my co-host, but he's got to be.
Well, at least give him the beer.
Oh, did you want a beer, Justin? You can have. We have a fresh one right here, and it's Coors Light. I know you're snobby like me, and you don't really drink the Coors Light.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Random questions. Ready?
Let's hear it.
All right. We talked about finance last time.
Sure.
And you're pretty brilliant with the finance business. You said after, let's see, we have a FreightWaves article that I really like. USA Trucks sees sustained growth amid uncertain market forces. We have created a business that insulates against downside risk. What does that mean? And are you still turning off my microphone? Okay, just checking.
So,
what does that mean? Is that your logistics revenue? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, kind of. So we have a whole bunch of kind of varieties within the business that we think kind of de-risks, and you're right, that is a financy term. But think about our logistics business, right? So a lot of the folks that are at this conference are logistics folks. Our logistics business is at least half contract business. In an environment where you have underlying spot market prices falling and therefore capacity is a little bit cheaper, I think you can expand your margins in that business. And I think you've heard that from some of the speakers here today. We absolutely believe in that. And so that gives you a downside protection in a declining market. On the asset side, which is only a little more than 35% of our business now, we have about a third of that that's dedicated business. So it's fixed and variable charge business that is essentially, not totally, but essentially, business that's the same route, the same way, every day, same driver, same truck, and it's wash, rinse, repeat. That business is typically negotiated, recontracted on a 3 to 5 year cycle. J.B. Hunt has a great, they're the best at that, right? So we have a very good franchise in that space. That gives you a lot of downside protection in a declining market, if it isn't declining. And I'm not declaring here today now that it's a declining market.
Okay, good, because that was the next question.
Yeah, because I'm not going to say that. And then the traditional asset business, we have a great contract business that's got a fantastic network that we think we can continue to reap profits out of. Now, I've said this publicly. That business is a little bit exposed to variations in the market.
Right.
But what that means is when freight rates go back up, and they will eventually, that's going to serve that business well. So between the asset business that's pretty locked in, the dedicated business, and then this really, I wouldn't call it gigantic, but we have a top 50 in the United States size brokerage working under the auspices of USA Truck.
Even half that shit I didn't even understand, and it just sounded so good. All right, ready?
Sure.
This is a random one. I don't even know if you've been paying attention because you got a lot of things going on. But the FMCSA, this is what happened. We have 6 minutes. I have to move fast. You guys remember Boiler Room Boys? I know, I'm moving, Frey. I just have things to say. Is that last Friday, we had this big fight on my show about the FMCSA I think we're going to do a mandate. They proposed a regulation. We're going to do a mandate on governing speed. Now, a lot of us, are your trucks governed?
They are.
What are they governed at?
I'm not sure I want to say that here.
What is it, like freaking 80, 90?
So look,
just tell us.
So our trucks are governed at 68 on cruise, 65 at the floor. But,
What's wrong with that?
well, one of the things that we did as we've been evolving our culture, we've got a very high level of trust built into the business. And a few years ago, we actually, for drivers that perform well, have no violations, no safety issues, this is a big deal to drivers. We turned them up to 70.
No. Where's Kukela? Did he run away already? Oh,
He's
perfect.
right there. Now, I say that as drivers have issues, we have a very small percentage that are still at 70. So we turned the trucks back down.
But you're saying, hey, good job on behaving. You can speed now.
No, we're not saying that. What we're saying, there are areas where the speed limit is faster than trucks can go at their governed levels. And there's a safety issue in going too slow as well.
Okay, how about this? Nope, I'm gonna just leave it alone. I think that it's cool you do that. I think it's cool you have limits. Does anybody complain saying, because this is what they said on my show, they said, those trucks who are governed at a certain speed are causing problems because they're going too slow and then going up the hills and all this traffic and blah, blah, blah. When I worked for Schneider, I didn't hear these problems, but maybe because I was shielded from it. Do you hear that too? Is that why you kind of gave an exception?
No.
See, I told you that was bullshit.
Yeah, that wasn't the key driver in our decision. I mean, social media fuels this too, right?
Yeah,
I saw
it
a meme
does.
just this morning, like 2 trucks. I won't name the company, but you can
Name
probably
it,
guess
do it. I
where
already
they're
know which
side
one.
by side going the same speed limit. Look, one of the things, and I wish we had more time to talk about this. One of the things I'm most excited about, what we're doing at USA Truck, we've done a great job bringing the cultural transformation to the business. But I still believe that drivers essentially are free agents and they have their own culture in their truck, right? And so the challenge for our operators is how do we extend this great work into the driver's experience? And so that's really what we're focused on now. Why am I saying that in the context of this question? Because if drivers have the right mindset about the motoring public and about their responsibility socially, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they'll even if they're governed, they'll slow down and get behind and let the traffic by. Like, there's
That's
just
a good
social
point.
norms.
Yeah.
And part of what you're seeing is behavioral challenge, for sure.
I think I could talk to you all day. Okay, I think I had one more question for you. Autonomous trucks. I know everybody wants to talk about autonomous trucks, but like you guys, every time I ask him a question, he does have something really cool to tell us, and I just love him. So, have you bought any autonomous trucks? Is that on your horizon? You're laughing at me. Why are we laughing? Are they making fun of me?
Okay, I've got a long answer, but I'm watching the clock here.
Okay.
So 4 years ago, I went out to the PACCAR Innovation Center in Silicon Valley and said, I want to learn everything I can about autonomous trucks. And we spent a day with them, and I loved it. I brought them to my board, and we spent an entire board meeting only talking about autonomy. This was 4 years ago. We weren't making any money at that time, so nobody really cared what we thought about it. This last year, we've gone out and met with almost all of the autonomous vehicle companies. I've personally ridden in a number of autonomously driven trucks that there's always a driver with their hand hovering over the wheel, but the truck drives itself. And then we have a board meeting next week, and we're going to be in Dallas, and one of the autonomous providers, I'm going to take my whole board, and every one of them are going to ride in an autonomously driven truck next week.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the area of business you're focusing on that you can use autonomous trucks for? Because clearly it's not made
It's such a great question. We don't know the answer to that yet. There's 2 business cases, and there's really 2 mindsets. There's people that say, no, this is just for hub to hub, and there's other people that say, well, it's just for long distance things. And as you talk to the various technology providers, it's clear that it's not clear.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. Okay, so we have 1 minute, 45 seconds left, and wait, don't think I didn't have another question for you. All right, you are not a drinker.
No.
I still have things to say about that, but still tell us, before I find my next question, what are you doing this weekend, this upcoming weekend? I keep thinking that today's
So
Friday.
what am I doing this weekend? So it's been crazy at the Reed household. This is mine and my wife's 30th anniversary. We were supposed to be in Mexico this week. It's not going to happen. So we're going down to Disney World,
Why aren't
and
you
we're
going
just
to
going to
Mexico?
hang out for a couple days. I just need to be
You
in
need
the
to be close
States.
by? Okay.
Yeah,
Don't
right
be afraid
now.
of Mexico. Mexico's great.
I
They do
love
have a lot of
Mexico.
beer.
I've been to Mexico a lot lately.
Why? Why do you always say stuff where have you been in Mexico?
I was in Mexico City not long ago.
Really? What'd
I've
you
been
do?
to Cancun, which isn't really Mexico.
I know. It's very touristy.
And then I went on a little golf trip with some buddies not long ago.
Good. How'd you like Mexico City?
I love Mexico.
Me too.
Yeah. I can
Me
hang
too.
in Mexico.
Okay, now you guys see why I was so excited for him to come on. I know Boiler Room Boys are bored with me, and I'm not happy enough. Hello, guys. Welcome to the FreightWaves show. And I'm just saying hello. But okay, one last thing to say before we wrap up is that everybody who came, I'm very excited to see you all. Some of your faces I haven't seen in forever. I see you, Todd. I love you, Todd. And yes, my Schneider people are back there. They can't let Shelly have all the fun, Miss Shelly. And Todd, I know that I embarrass you all the time, but thank you for all your patience. And thank you for putting up with all my shit and my beer. I saw your eye roll when I had my beer. And with the Boiler Room Boys.
I wish
You're the
everybody
best.
could see Todd's face right now.
Yeah, he's
It's
not impressed,
fantastic.
you guys. I'm like, he's the one that decides whether I'm fired or not. And every day, he's like, I want to fire her. Okay, I see you blinking, Frey. I did it. You guys can cut me off. And we were successful.